Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This is going to be on skills. Although, to be honest with you, with the patterns of these picker piles, they did remind me a little bit of like islands. So maybe there's something to do here with travel, possibly. It reminded me a little bit of islands. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's the vibe I actually got from these. But I listen to my intuition always, and the reading today is on skill. So these might be some hidden skills you've got. These might be some skills that you're aware of. Either way, they'll give you some confirmation and hopefully just make your life a whole load better, because that's what my plan is on this channel, for people to listen to some of the gems I've got here and for you to just to improve your life, basically. So as always, pile number one, pile number two, and pile number three. Feel free to pause the video and I'll start with pile number ones. Okay, pile number ones, what skills you got? I'm going to keep the abstract flow, so forgive me. Not the first time this kind of pattern has come through. It reminds me of like melting, like maybe ice cap kind of energy in this reading though. Don't think that's come through. I feel like pile number ones, you might be good at reinventing yourself. That's maybe a skill that you got. But I also got from this reading that you're quite good at remaining calm. I feel like pile number ones, you might hear that as well and go, no, that's not me. But I think you maybe don't see yourself how other people see you. So even though you might feel panic internally, you don't necessarily show it outside. I feel like that's just for some of you though. I feel like some of you maybe are panickers, and that's okay, do you. But if that doesn't resonate with you, I'll usually say pick another pile, but I'm going to say to you, no, stay on this pile, because I feel like this pile is a little bit split. The main energy that is consistent in both types of people who can remain calm and some who panic is they're able to like melt and invent themselves. It's interesting because the word melt is coming through, and it's like that's an interesting way to reinvent yourself. You know, it's like some people would describe that process differently, to reinvent yourself. If you think about it, like think about the phoenix that's usually burnt to the ashes, and then this beautiful bird-like creature evolves from the ashes. It's almost like the fire sign would be the phoenix, the earth sign would be being buried alive and becoming the great, you know, rebirth. The air, what would the air be? Don't know. I can only think of like the tornado that builds up over time and becomes great and then dies out and then does it all over again. But yeah, so for you, pile number ones, you're maybe water signs, or you may just relate to the water sign energy. But yeah, this is very much to do with becoming almost like that great iceberg, melting down, becoming the ocean again, and then forming another place or another time. I feel like pile number ones, you might embrace just the ever evolving identity that you're creating. Yeah, I feel pile number ones, there might be something going on here where, like, you've got some form of courage with just like evolving, you know. I'm also getting with the iceberg that, with icebergs, you don't, to be honest, this is more like ice cap energy. And it's funny because the kids be using the name cap at the moment, um, which, can be referred to like a lie. So like no cap means you're not lying. So you might just be raw with your belief systems, who you are. That was kind of coming through, but it's a little bit more. That's kind of more the earth talk. I've got to start calling it earth talk, like 3D talk. Um, yeah, so like maybe just bear that in mind, pile number ones. I feel like there's something that I'm actually missing there. I'll be honest. There's a metaphor that I'm missing to do with the ice cap. You might just want to like research that. Kind of maybe even research how ice caps formed. Like, I think I know how they're formed um, in basic terms, but I don't really understand it like more than kind of just a build up of ice. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the edge, isn't it? The ice cap is the edge. Like, do you understand? I can't really explain it very well. Like, I can explain kind of what I see, but I don't really understand um, the in-depth science of how they're formed, which is probably not too hard to find on the internet. So I recommend looking at that pile number ones because you might get like a little gem there on, damn, like this is a bit like me. This is a bit like how I flow. In a lot of my videos, I talk about this flow, and it might not be really resonating with some of you because that is very air signy. It's very dragon, isn't it? It's the dragon energy. But you can clearly see here, this is jagged, but no less beautiful. It's the same wave, but we got to call the spade a spade. It's more jagged. It's more rough. It's possibly even more unpredictable. These might be kind of trigger words which are resonating with you, pile number ones. You might be listening saying, yeah, I fuck with that. So yeah, pile number ones, your skill is that you're able to reinvent yourself. It may be in the sense that it's quite harsh for other people, seen as a little bit dangerous. And like I said, I've kind of given you some gems there to research because you're going to be able to unpick some better metaphors in terms of understanding yourself as like an ice cap. Just thinking I've given a future rapper their rap name, Ice Cap. Getting me in the royalties, part ones. Find me, y'all. Part number ones, thank you for being here. If you enjoy the reading, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Pile number twos. Kind of what you're skilled at. What do you see? What do you feel? Really kind of. So we've got earthy energy here. Might be Virgos. I think you might be surprised what I was pulling from this. I was getting like taking notes. I know this doesn't look like that much, but it's kind of giving me like a note sticker. I'm not sure if you guys use the what they call, are they called? I guess I'm more of a notes person on my phone opposed to, you know, the literally the yellow tab sticks, those yellow note things. I was getting that, and I don't really even know what these are. Maybe just like points or something. Note takers, I'm getting. It's very clear. There's not really much to it. It's not really a spiritual reading at all. It's just a confirmation. Um, Pile number two is it's like you've got a skill there of taking notes. Think about how that maybe applies to like career. You might be good like analyzers. Doesn't matter what career it is, like industry. Sorry, you might be good at observing, like maybe psychology, even therapy. Might be good at like listening to people and taking notes. I remember like when I was studying or training, I should say, to be an architect. One of the like when you're interning, when you first get your first like jobs, if you like, one of the tasks that you often get given is writing meeting minutes. Like I'm sure it's in pretty much every industry, but meeting minutes is just like taking away the key points of that meeting. And I remember when I was interning at this one place, I don't really have good memories, but at least in what I learned, I'll kind of give credit energetically for the lessons that I learned there. Um, but I did learn, like one of the things that I did learn was actually how to take good, good meeting minutes. And I tell you why, because at least in my mind at the time, I was more concerned that I didn't miss anything. So basically, what I was doing is I was taking notes on everything. And my mentor at the time was like, to do this well, you need to understand what's important in the meeting and take the notes thoroughly on that. So, as a kind of a nervous student, not to say that I was this naive, but it would be the example of taking notes of the small talk. Like I said, I wasn't going this far, but it would be the example of you know, if in that meeting, which never actually happened, but say the architect was asking the engineer, "Oh, how's things? How, you know, how's the wife? How's Susie or whatever her name is?" Not like not like they said that either, but me as an intern would have, in a clear example of not what to do, I would have taken notes on that. And like I said, I wasn't. I'm trying not to say stupid enough, but I wasn't stupid enough to write that. But I maybe would have maybe taken too much notes on things like the location of a certain problem. So let's say if we was having a problem with like a floor difference, right? So you're designing something. Let's say one of these buildings is a refurbishment, and one is a new build, and we're trying to link these buildings together. But one of them's old, and let's say one of them was listed. This was actually kind of one of the problems, actually. I'm saying too much information here, part twos. But the one of them's listed, so we couldn't actually do much alteration structurally with this building. But let's say this new building, we're trying to maximize a load of shit, and we're trying to link these two buildings, but let's say one of them is one certain way, and then this new one, we're trying to maximize it to the limit. So there's, this is a good metaphor to life actually, because sometimes you've got something which is old and very set in its ways, and then there's something new which is maybe done a little bit more efficiently now, but then that has problems too. And there's problems sometimes with linking these two things together. You want them to work harmoniously, but sometimes they just don't work. Or that's where we come in as an architect and say, yeah, it doesn't work, but check this out. Get the magic wand out. Wingardium Leviosa. Make that shit float. What's the other one? Expecto Patronum. Blast that shit into light particles. Client be like, wow, do it again. So my point is as a student, I might have explained the fact that this shit weren't working, and what the architect was trying to show me was that we know it's not working. Take the notes on what was said to make it work, and then possibly, if that architect is really a good mentor, they would start saying, how would you improve that too? Have you got any ideas? How would you solve that problem? And I don't know, pile number two, I'm kind of giving this beautiful ramble. Hopefully you're seeing it as beautiful, and it's music to your ears. You're getting it, you're vibing with it, you understand what I'm trying to say. This kind of analogy, metaphor, example is possibly what you've got a strength in, is that note taking, that what took me a while to get the swing of, and understand how to take not just notes on everything, but notes on what's efficient and what's helpful. That might come to you naturally, So I'd run with it, and I'll try and figure out how you can apply or add value with that skill set. So poem number 2, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, poem number 3 is need some more paper. See what your skill is. Simple, but quite easy to read as well, actually, which is good for me. Poem number 3 is what do you see? What do you feel? What I got from this was hypnosis. I feel like poem number 3 is you might be good talkers. Now, I remember only a couple of years ago, what was it called? See, look, shows how bad I am. Anyways, I met someone who was in a certain industry. I think it was called kinology, something like that. And I remember her kind of speaking about what she did, and I was like, okay, I couldn't really um, make much sense of it, but I was listening, and they were telling me about hypnotherapy as well, and there was kind of a point in my life where what this person was explaining to me, I would have maybe just zoned out and not been able to absorb it, or maybe find like the use case in it. And as the it's funny because I'm shooting myself in the foot right now because I'm talking about this, and the evidence is that I did zone out partially because I can't remember it all. But I'm trying to make you understand, pile number threes, that I did see value in what the person was telling me about kinesiology and hypnotherapy. I might not be able to remember word for word all the techniques that she was explaining to me, but I was able to resonate is probably the word. I was resonating with it more. I was able to go, okay, interesting. Sometimes as well, what I find, you might relate to this poll number three, is with even skills. What's the word that people are throwing out nowadays? It could be, I think it's neurodivergent. Like sometimes what I struggle with is like if I don't have a certain skill in that area, I don't find much interest in it. So I'm not sure if that's autism or whatever. Put me under whatever group that makes sense to. So when I see someone doing something, even if it's amazing, like if I can't really do it or connect with it in a way, sometimes my brain just pieces out. So what I'm trying to say here, anyways, part number three is even, is that indirectly what I was saying is I've grown in being able to actually overcome that. So in the past, someone might have called it, oh man, you're just arrogant and you just love your own skills and you're just consumed by that. And I'd say to that person, not that that ever happened to me. No, there's just something different going on in my brain. It's not ego like that. It's more to do with like attention. It's more to do with like my attention span or something. I think that's ADHD. Do you know what I'm saying though? It's not me just being a dick. It's like, nah, just it didn't click. That shit didn't click. I don't. My brain just has a really small patience span in terms of do you. It's like, do you fuck with it? Do you fuck with it or do you not fuck with it? So file number three is on this journey of life, this spiral of life. God opened me up to new things and new skills that people have. And they were like, okay, this is Ed here. Something not quite right with this one. Let's break him into other industries and other beautiful skills so he can understand them better and be part of that. Let's bring him closer to his life path. And hypnotherapy and kinesiology, if I'm pronouncing them right, are things which, like I said, I might not have grasped them earlier in my life because I hadn't stretched that elastic brain muscle to be able to appreciate them. And I feel like pole number threes, you might really relate to what I'm saying, but I feel like you are the hypnotherapy type of people who you're good with words, you're good with speaking, And it's not just in a way where you can stand on a podium and speak. It's that you can actually, not like I've just done, that's for sure. You're able to convey your message really well. So, what makes you a good almost hypnotist is that you're very in control. Like I said, not like I've done here. That's for sure, y'all. But you might be like, okay, well, he should have just said this at the start of the reading instead of talking about his life story, and you should have just made this point here. Um, that's what you're meant to do. Even if it's damn like listening to this lost motherfucker, I could do this much better. And you start a YouTube channel and go, Zed, listen to this. Like this is what you was trying to say, isn't it? And I'll say, fucking paraphrase. That's your damn skill. That's your damn skill right there. With that paraphrase, if you're still here, I fucks with y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.